Well, hello, here we are again at the C-Suite Network Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. Our topic today, this is our 4-day challenge. We're talking about prosperity today. So my promise to each of you live, and we thank you for being here, showing up. Part of being prosperous, I think, is just also showing up. When you receive the call or the email, you just say, yeah, I'll attend that. Yes, I'll show up. I'll show up and support the person who's leading the call. And then I'll also support myself, because my promise is today you're going to have an experience of feeling prosperous. And won't that be lovely, right? Yeah. Yep. So let me jump in, and I'd love to just show a couple slides, because that's what I do. I love my slides. I love them. And, it just helps keep me on track. And so I thank you. Welcome to our day 2 of our challenge. Our first day we're talking about purpose. Oh, yesterday it was so good. Purpose, living in our purpose, and what will be possible when we're living in our purpose. We also help our clients and guide our clients to their greater purpose. Wow, it was a great conversation. Annalie, I know you were there. How did you enjoy the conversation yesterday on purpose?
Well, what I really appreciated most was the level of in-depth discussion. So it wasn't just, the usual talk about mission statement and purpose statement and all that, but it was really deep and heartfelt and looking into a much more spiritual aspect of our calling. And as we recognize that, create structures or create a business or create a format to share that with the world. And it was very intimate. It was very, very real, very authentic, very sweet. And also emotional in some way. There were some personal stories told that we all could connect with, and that's what I really appreciated. And your leadership in that is always so so encouraging, so inclusive, so loving, and so respectful. It's just such a beautiful combination of the way how you facilitate these meetings, Kathleen.
Oh, Annalie, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I couldn't say it. What you said was so perfect and so complete, because it was all of that you just said yesterday. And, the very special thing that I love is that when we show up for this moment in time, and each of you, you bring your best forward. And I honor and appreciate you, because it's really about connecting, I believe, to ourselves, what's important to us, and then connecting to each other. Because the word yesterday, Annalie, as you probably remember, and Carol, when you were able to watch the replay, and our other sisters and brothers that watched the replay, we used the word sacred many times. Mm-hmm. It was really a very sacred conversation. So today will be the same. I promise you that today's conversation about prosperity, and tomorrow's about power. And then Friday, we're going to connect with our community in a really, really awesome way. But I have a nice definition that I got off of dictionary.com. And I'm just curious if any of you, either of you, would love to read the definition, because this gives your hostess an opportunity to rest her voice.
Yeah. I can do that.
Thank you, Carol. Aloha.
Aloha. Prosperity. Number 1, a successful, flourishing, or thriving condition, especially in financial respects, good fortune. Number 2, prosperities, prosperous circumstances characterized by financial success or good fortune.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you. So, this definition from dictionary.com does a nice job of talking about prosperity, about financial areas. However, I think we can expand the conversation. And that's the goal for today, is to really quantify, what does prosperity mean to us personally, professionally? They could be one and the same. And where we're going to go with our time together is, how will we know when we've experienced it? And how can we have more of it in our life? So just curious for all of us here on our call, what does prosperity mean to you?
Yeah, for me, it's a really much of a matter of context and a matter of a state of being, rather than something I go for to achieve. And, as we were reflecting earlier, it's just that awareness that there is already so much good in my life, that by embracing that more consciously every day, and knowing that it becomes a part of my very way of being, rather than doing or having to acquire something. So it's that state of calm, of confidence, of joy, of reverence. You mentioned the word sacred. Humility is a big word for me, big term for me. And yeah, and that is what I'm getting more and more of, and what I'm continually aim to amplify and to live with. And what a difference it makes. It's seeing whatever I may have seen in the past as a distraction or as a hindrance, as seeing more as a another opportunity for me to learn something that I never was aware of before. And it's not just theoretical talk. It's really my experience, that rather than reacting, it's more of a response of curiosity and waiting what's next, rather than reacting that it is a negative thing that just happened, just one more thing, one more burden. It really is a contextual shift that I have been experiencing, and it has all kinds of results in my body, in my mind, in my health, and in my relationships.
Yeah, Annalie, and we can see it in you.
Oh,
We can see it. And Carol, wouldn't you agree? It comes through the camera. Yeah, it
Yes,
really
indeed.
does, doesn't it? Yeah, yeah,
wow.
yeah. Carol, how about for you, prosperity? You have such a prosperous life.
Thank you.
You
I
really do.
I consider that time is a very precious commodity, more important to me at this point than how much money I'm generating. But all of this, I feel like I'm coming to a place of understanding the abundance in my life in all aspects. And when you view opportunities from the perspective of abundance instead of scarcity, it makes all the difference in the world. It makes a difference in how you approach prospective clients, in how you deal with rejection or no, I can't do that.
Right.
It's like if my value proposition is not something that they can go for, then that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I am not devastated. I am empowered that I don't feel grovelly. In earlier years, I would feel like, oh, I've got my charges wrong because he's not going for it. It's like, well, hey, it's just not a fit today. And it gives joy to know that I'm enough. I'm filled up, packed down, bursting forth with how I can be helpful. And if someone doesn't perceive that that's something that they can afford or want to do with me, then that's just fine.
That's right. That's right.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And it really is the aloha spirit that you are so representative of and you embody, of the welcoming spirit, the generous spirit, the ease, the flow, and, like, hey, no big deal, no
Yeah.
big deal. Yeah. Yeah. And, it's interesting to me, as a side note here, and I so appreciate the two of you being here. And for everyone who's watching our replay, it's the two of you're here and you two get it. You're living it. And yet you're interested in the topic and enough to say, hey, I'm going to clear my calendar for this time, because time, you mentioned, Carol, is one of your most important assets and one of your most important priorities. Annalee, you too, me as well. So isn't it fascinating to know that, we're still learning and we're still interested, and thank you for your commitment on this. So yeah. And so prosperity, Annalee and I were talking before the broadcast, is it's for me, it's like a feeling of feeling filled, but not full, or not stuffed. It's a feeling of calmness, peace. My heart is overflowing with gratitude, and just also knowing, trusting that everything is turning out okay. Everything is in divine order. I'm doing what I'm called to do every day, every day, every day, and just keep walking. And like you said, Carol, it's like, I'd love to work with you. And if we can put it together, let's put it together. If we can't, no worries,
No.
So
I think the other thing about prosperity is that it fuels my generous heart, and I can act on that and feel perfectly at ease that I have enough to give and to be generous with my resources.
yes, absolutely.
Since I was a little girl, and I had a sort of a strange history with regard to my upbringing, which I don't want to get into, but I was always curious about what love is. And I'm still curious about it. I'm still looking at the many expressions and demonstrations of love, and I still haven't figured it out.
A lifetime conversation, isn't it?
It is, but here's what I want to share with you. As you know, with my background, I'm very interested in understanding and learning and teaching universal laws and principles. And there's also universal law of love. And I was looking at something very, very practical just a few moments ago as we were talking about my love for making jewelry, right?
Yes.
I love jewelry. I love making jewelry. When I travel, I'm drawn to the stores that show jewelry. I mean, it's something that I just love. And guess what? I find the most incredible things. I inherit jewelry from people. It's in my life, and it's like a constant flow. And I'm thinking, because of my love and true appreciation of it, I seem to be attracting it somehow. And that is how universal principles work. It's a give and take. It's a flow. And so I'm far not an expert in love, but I think there is something there that fits the universal energy systems. And so that would be a very practical example to share how my love and my contribution to that particular thing in life, which is probably the most useless thing on this planet,
it's part of beauty and
feel good.
Attracting
That's
more
right.
of
That's
the
right.
same. And it's very interesting. I have people come to me and say, "Oh, I have this necklace. Would you like that? You can make something out of it." Or, "I have a ring I don't wear anymore." And I'm just saying, how many people get that? So anyway, I wanted to share this sort of metaphysical aspect to prosperity and give it a very practical example.
Fantastic, because isn't that a form of prosperity, Annalee?
Yeah.
I mean, it's an exchange. It's back to our definition, of flourishing, creating a flourishing and thriving condition, in sometimes in financial respects, and good fortune. So yeah, and so
that's what I was zeroing into in the good fortune app. What is good fortune? It's really an interplay of a law that operates all the time. And so it's not just something that sort of shows up and dribbles onto you and say, "Ah, you know, I got good fortune." There is a lot more complex operation behind all that.
It's so perfect what you're saying. And this is so perfect because it's leading into the next thing that I wanted to share with you. Amazing. Yes. Which is, thinking about this is, thinking about how we can have more of it. And so to be able to quantify, what does it mean to you personally, the prosperity in your life that you are enjoying? And hey, I'd like to have more of this, but I don't, not like going for it. I'm not strategizing about it, but no, I'm welcoming in more jewelry. I'm welcoming in more clients who are ready, willing, able, and delighted to pay my full fee to guide them on their branding, their LinkedIn profile, the way they show up online, all the things, that they're doing. Join the council, all of those things. And, it's interesting. The thing that I'm thinking about too is, how can we create the conditions to know when we've got it, so to speak? This elusive thing, because sisters, I must share, the majority of the world is not feeling the way we're feeling right now, sadly enough. And, we can do our part to help that. But I'm just kind of curious, how will you know when you've got it? The prosperity that you're seeking is seeking you. How will you know when you've got it? If there is such a thing.
Yeah, that would be my question. If there is such a thing to getting it,
Yeah.
if it is a being thing, then it is every moment of awareness of that is having gotten it, but it is also fleeting. It does not stay 24 hours a day. I would like that, but I think if that would be the case, we probably wouldn't be on this planet anymore.
Yes, yes. And I love what you're saying. And I believe that in the moment of not feeling it, that's a moment of noticing, oh, I'm not feeling it. And I have a practice that I use. I notice in my body what's happening. Okay, what's going on? What just happened to have me move out of that space? Because it's definitely a feeling space. I feel it in my heart chakra. It definitely has a kinesthetic kind of feeling, which we're going to experience here in a moment. And then when I don't feel that, it's like, oh, okay, what just happened? How did I move out of that? Yeah. So got it. Yeah. And then, of course, in the moment of, maybe opening a bill or receiving a communication about something, it's like, okay, all of the can sometimes go out the window, to like, hey, I thought I paid that, so yes. Yeah. What the heck happened? That was double billed. What it's like all of that good prosperity juju, so to speak, where to go, Yeah. Carol, your thoughts on how do you know when you've got it? The prosperity space, the beingness, the doingness. How do you know when you're in that beautiful space?
I can hear it in my voice.
Ooh,
So
love that.
how I express myself, how I feel about what I'm offering, how I feel about what I'm able to give, from a charitable point of view,
Yes.
because I believe that our prosperity is not just to make us rich, it's to enrich the world and to, bring our good beyond our own space, to help make the world a better place. So when I'm feeling generous and I'm not pulling punches because I'm looking at bills, I know I'm fine. You know, I'm in the place I want to be.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So let's go in, and I'd love to take just a few moments and have us experience the tangible feeling of feeling that prosperous space that you would, that we'd all like to experience, have more of, so that we can learn, of course, to generate it when we want to call it forth as a tangible feeling, and perhaps even name it for ourselves. Okay. Would you be open to a few minutes of just a guided meditation, just relaxation, where we can
Sure.
do that? Okay, good. Great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. And by the way, have you noticed that you two are wearing the most beautiful, gorgeous royal blue today? A very royal color, a very prosperous, beautiful color. Yes, good. Okay. So how about this? If you'd like to just sit back in your chairs, and if you feel comfortable, just to take a couple deep breaths in and out. And of course, if you're watching the replay, listening to the replay, we're highly recommending that you do not operating any heavy machinery or drive a car while you're going through this. Yeah, yes. Be sure that you're safe and you're in a place where you can just sit back and relax. So taking a nice deep breath in and then exhaling. Just the beautiful, prosperous feeling of your breath, breathing in and breathing out. That beautiful, calming breath that you can always bring to any situation, to any condition. You can come back to your breath, breathing in and breathing out. And I welcome you to experience the calmness of your breath, breathing in and breathing out. And I invite you to breathe in what you'd like more of in your life. Just breathe in what you'd like more of. And breathing in more, perhaps it's prosperity, perhaps it's love, peace of mind, relaxation. You get to choose what you'd like to breathe in and have more of in your life. So breathing it in. And imagine or visualize, picture or pretend, or just even think about filling your body up, filling your mind, your heart, your torso, your back, your legs, all the way down to your feet, filling your body up with what you want more of in your life. And just filling up your body through your breath. And using your powerful mind, on a scale of 0 to 10, how strong is the feeling that you're feeling of what you're breathing into your life? 0 to 10. When you have a number in mind, just give me a little nod. Yeah, there you go. Beautiful. Okay. And I invite you to use your powerful will, this will within you, to move up and increase, if you'd like to, increase the level of intensity or focus or power of what you want more of in your life, breathing it in and increasing the good feeling in your body, maybe even to a 10, 11, 12. That's right. And if you've used your mind to go even higher than you were before, just give me a little nod. Yeah, beautiful. That's great. That's right. And so in a moment, we're going to come back to the room feeling refreshed and alert with lots and lots of energy, feeling really good in every way. Feeling really good in every way. So coming back to the room, remembering the word or phrase, the feeling that you wanted to increase. So I'm going to count up from 1 up to 5. When we come back to 5, come back to the room feeling refreshed and alert. So 0 to 1, starting to feel your toes. 1 to 2, starting to remember where you placed yourself in the room. 3 up to 4, maybe taking a nice deep breath. And 5, refreshed, alert, and feeling good in every way. 5, yeah. Beautiful. It's the most incredible relaxation. You look so refreshed, Carol. You really do. And I feel refreshed too. Yes, yes, yeah. And is there any sharing you'd like to share about what you experienced? There's no pressure to, but if you'd like to.
I don't know that I want to particularly share, but
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know. I do feel like I put in people that are not necessarily affiliated with my business, that time with friends, time with family is part of my prosperity.
Yes.
And I did feel just a loosening of my body. You know, always when one takes the opportunity to do that deep breathing, it is so freeing. I don't know why we don't do it more often, but it is beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Yes, excellent. Excellent. Yeah. And, you know, there's an opportunity to use our breath, and I do it a lot too, as I breathe in what I want more of and feel it in my body. And usually it's around my heart chakra, feeling that filling up and really feeling the light there, just feeling that, illuminating that. And I use this technique before I get on calls with clients, just to feel that up. And then sometimes it's also a feeling of, what do I want to let go of? So using my breath to just let go of whatever and let it go from my body and my heart and my, you know, everything. Just release it. Just let it go. It doesn't serve me. Yeah, just to get free of it. I didn't add that in today because I wanted to keep us focused on what we want more of. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you. Beautiful sharing. Thank you, Carol. Beautiful. Yeah. Annalee, if you feel like you'd like to say something, there's no pressure to.
Yeah, so as you probably noticed, I got distracted by a phone call, which I
It's
had to
okay.
take.
It's okay.
And so I was only with you like for the first half of the relaxation.
Yeah.
What I feel or what I felt when I'm doing that is an emerging sense of really, I know it's probably an overused term these days, but of gratitude, because
Mm.
I was just invited to an unbelievable, unimaginable, incredible mastermind group with very few selected people only from all over the world. And I got a scholarship for it. It is a
Excellent.
very expensive thing. And I'm just in overwhelm, and I'm so much looking forward to it. These are really great thinkers and very successful people and out of the box thinking business people. And so I was just breathing that in, and the feeling was just joy and gratitude. I mean, it's just so amazing that that is happening. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
Yeah. And Annalie, it's so believable. It's so believable.
Yes.
What do you mean by it's so believable?
You have attracted it, my friend.
Oh, I
Right?
see what you
That's
said.
right. It's not unbelievable. It's so believable. It's
Got it.
completely believable. And actually
Oh,
so
okay.
perfect and so actually predictable, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting because of, some doors have been closing
Yeah,
and
right.
suddenly some others open, and it's and
Amazing.
those are really moving me forward. So it's amazing.
Yes, it
Fabulous.
is.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So the two of you are really demonstrating how prosperous you are. You really are so prosperous. And, we have a world of people, and, we don't have to save everyone. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about, all of, but there are people that are coming to us because the three of us and everyone who's watching this broadcast, we send you so much love and so much caring, because I say this, we are light workers. We are absolutely light workers. We're showing the way, and the form of which we do it is different. It doesn't really matter, because people can see our light and can see what's possible. And it's a great opportunity to do what's ours to do. And so, I wanted to share, as we kind of wind down here a little bit, is for us, we know when we've got it. We know when we've got the feeling of prosperity. We can feel it on our body. You too are experiencing it. How do we feel it? And, for some of us, the feeling of prosperity, I just wanted to lighten up a little bit, is kind of a cup of coffee for folks. And I think that that's a feeling of prosperity of, for my beloved. His life is so perfect in a moment of me brewing and grinding the beans and making a cup of coffee for him out of love and caring, that, that's prosperity for him in that moment of sipping and enjoying. And so for everyone, the feeling of prosperity is a little different. And, the great opportunity, I think, for all of us and for us here on this call is, how can we guide our clients to what we have and what they want, most importantly, to their version of prosperity? I think everybody wants to feel that peace of mind. They want to feel the expansiveness, the gratitude, the feeling of time abundance. They want this. They don't want to be in scarcity mode. And of course, there are people that are addicted to the, the scarcity mode and all that. Okay, bless them, but they're not our clients. But those that are ready for what's next. And so, I just wanted to share a couple more ideas that I think for many of our clients, they're relating to the beautiful Maslow hierarchy of needs, that they're moving up the ladder, they're moving up the pyramid. And, we can help people move up there at their own pace, at their own time. And moving people, particularly right now, such a scarcity mindset. Annalie, you and I were speaking about that earlier. Basic necessities of life are really, really critical. And to have people move up and feel wherever they're at in this hierarchy of needs, wherever they're feeling, they can overcome whatever is the obstacle. They can feel prosperous when perhaps everything around them is telling them logically, no, 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 but they can overcome their situations. And, one of my very first mentors, Zig Ziglar, rest in peace, love that man. I just love everything that he talked about. Is he really stood for that each of us can have everything in life that we want if we help enough other people get or have what they want, and, doing what's ours to do. And I really do believe in that. And so, I'm just curious as we complete our time together is what would be possible if we were the catalysts, we were the thought leaders, we were the way showers and the light workers, that we were helping everyone in the planet to some degree, like the ripple effect, that we're feeling prosperous, we're acting and being prosperous, and we help our clients to do the same and be the same and have the same, and that it's rippled forward. Just a curious question, thinking about for each of us, what the world would look quite a bit different than it does right now. Just curious, is this part of your thought process, is, relating what you're doing now to a greater good? Thoughts about that? Comments?
But we talked about in some way about that yesterday already, that
Sure.
when we look at the very core of what it is we want to do, and which is aligning with our work, with our mission, we really do contribute to prosperity, to freedom, to inner calm, confidence, all those things all those really important things that we need right now, and so much value. So that would be my answer, but also that we can't reach everyone. And yet at the same time, energetically, there is a sort of a ripple effect.
Yeah.
It may not ripple that visibly right away, but it is operating, and it's how energy works. And so our intention and work does have some larger effect, not the one that we just immediately notice or can measure with our ways of measuring things. So it's as this planet is moving into a more fine material structure, these energies are more prominent.
Yes.
And so we do have much more impact, therefore, with our ways of being than we probably ever had in the history of this dimension. So that's one of the things I'm, would like to say in response to your question. But if I may, I would like to make another comment on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I don't know if you know that his daughter finished his last book, and his last book is called the nature of the further nature of human development, the farther nature, not further, farther nature of human development. And she finished his book, and to my knowledge, in this book, I have it. It's a bit of a complicated read, but in this book, he mentioned that he wondered toward the end of his life that if what he calls it the peak of the triangle, that maybe the spirituality needed to be at the very bottom. And it starts out with that. And I just thought it was very interesting because it's a circular thing. Yes. And so we are recognizing more and more how spirituality, like really grounded spirituality, not the fluffy stuff, the woo-woo stuff, is really at the base of our very existence. And so I thought I'd share that because that was such a new insight for me, that a true thought leader like he was speculated that there was something else at the base of our being that we typically don't look at, because on a basic human level, of course, we need first food, we need to have this, and we do, and so on. But anyway, so I wanted to share that with you, and I think the beautiful job that you do, Kathleen, is to bring us into a remembering, if not a deeper understanding of that spiritual truth. And so thank you for doing that.
Thank you, Annalie. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate that, and I receive that. Yes, thank you. And, to find the greater purpose in everything we do, small things, large things, subtle things. And Carol, you're in the business world. You're in with business executives. Your expertise is really to help them with the tangible things and the personal branding and the professional branding and all of those things. How does this resonate, that there's a bigger purpose for the work you're doing?
I consider that my work helps other people do their work.
Yes.
That when they are well positioned for all of their business conversations, because they have a great profile, that they can be more effective too. So that ripple effect is helping people who are influential already be a bigger power for good. It just sets everything up.
Beautiful. Yes. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. So as we complete our time, wow, what the word that just keeps coming up is delicious. Absolutely delicious. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you. So I have so enjoyed our conversation. So grateful that the two of you have been here. Gosh, it's just been really joyous. And I really think the importance of what's been emerging. We've been talking about this the whole time and why it's important. And, as we complete our time, I really do, more than ever, I am so convinced that the world needs our light. It needs our light, and our light's in so many different forms. It's a light of positivity. And I just saw this little picture of this little girl at the bottom. And I thought, good golly, I have the most fun when I'm playing with my clients. I'm doing what I love to do, and I feel fully self-expressed. And I'm like, yeah, they're winning, I'm winning, we're making a difference. And to me, that's the epitome of prosperity. So with that, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me just go on here that tomorrow, as we complete our time together, tomorrow's program is going to be ultra, triple, quadruple delicious, if there is such a word. Someone used the word the other day of awesomeness, and I love that word. And tomorrow's conversation with Linda Conyard, esteemed faculty member for our Women's Coaching and Consulting Council. She's going to be talking about power. How do we connect with our power? And it's not what we think it is. It's not, it's amazing. It's going to be really, really, really fun. So we hope you can join us tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. And thank you. Thank you. And I'm just curious, a final takeaway from each of you, something that's maybe an insight, maybe a reinforcement of what you're all doing, and would love to complete on such a high note. Yeah, my takeaway is I'm so grateful to be in community with the two of you and everyone watching our broadcast. I love doing this. It's an expression. It's prosperity for me. So I thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Good. Any other takeaways from the two of you? Anything you'd like to share as we complete our time?
Fullness, abundance.
Abundance. Yes. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I feel in a lovely way, really nurtured by our meeting today, because again, we have more meaningful and in-depth sharing and discussions, and that's something I'm interested in, and that works for me. So thank you for doing all this work, and you're definitely the queen of screens. I've never seen anyone who loves those things so much than you do, but you make such a nice selection too, always.
Thank
so
you.
A lot of work into a lot of thought into that. So
Delighted to do
thank
it.
you.
Delighted. Great.
Okay.
Well, thank you. Have a
Bye-bye.
beautiful day. Blessings and lots of prosperity.
You.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.